power of consistency. Consistency is one of the most underestimated forces in the universe. It's quiet, it's not flashy, it doesn't always get celebrated, and yet it is the foundation of every success story, the invisible thread weaving together greatness. We often look at people we admire, those who have achieved extraordinary things, and we imagine they must have had something special, a kind of luck or talent or divine intervention that set them apart. But the truth is simpler and far more powerful. Their greatness was not built in one day. It was built daily. It was built on the discipline of showing up, on the power of consistency. When you think of consistency, think of the steady rise of the sun. Every single morning, whether you notice it or not, the sun rises. The waves meet the shore every single day. The seasons cycle without fail. Nature itself is consistent, and because it is consistent, life continues. You are part of that rhythm too. Your dreams, your health, your relationships, your purpose, they thrive when you align yourself with the same principle. Small, repeated steps that compound over time, transforming your life from the inside out. Consistency is not about perfection. It is not about doing everything right every day. It is about persistence. It is about returning again and again to what matters most. If you miss a day, you begin again. If you fall, you rise. If you stumble, you steady yourself and keep walking. And that is what consistency is. It is a choice to keep going, to honor your commitment to yourself, even when it's difficult, even when no one else sees or applauds you. There is a story of a man who wanted to become healthier. He felt overwhelmed by how far he had to go, how much he had to change, and the mountain in front of him seemed impossible to climb. But instead of trying to do everything at once, he made one small choice. Every morning, he would walk for 20 minutes. That's it. No complicated plan, no massive leaps, just a walk. And day after day, he kept that promise to himself. Over time, those steps added up. His health began to change, his energy returned, and most importantly, his belief in himself grew stronger. That is what consistency does. It doesn't just change results, it changes identity. It transforms you into someone who honors their word, someone who trusts themselves, someone who is capable of anything. Consistency builds trust, and trust builds confidence. Every time you show up for yourself, you are saying to your own soul, I can rely on me. That is powerful. Because when you trust yourself, you stop waiting for the perfect moment, you stop hesitating, and you begin to move with certainty. And when you move with certainty, you become unstoppable. Now, I want you to think about your own life. Where do you need consistency? Where have you been waiting for motivation when what you really needed was commitment? Motivation is fleeting, it comes and it goes. Some days you feel it and some days you don't. But consistency doesn't rely on feeling, it is a decision. It is the daily choice to show up, regardless of how you feel in the moment. And that decision, repeated again and again, creates unstoppable momentum. Let me share another story. There was a woman who dreamed of writing a book. She had carried that dream in her heart for years, but it always felt too big, too overwhelming. She would sit down to write and the blank page would intimidate her. But one day she decided to try something different. Instead of aiming to write an entire book, she committed to writing one page a day, just one page. And some days the words flowed beautifully. Other days it was a struggle to put down even a few sentences. But she kept going, one page every day, and slowly the pages piled up, a chapter, then 2, then 10, until eventually she was holding her finished book in her hands. Not because of inspiration, not because of bursts of brilliance, but because of consistency. That is how everything great is built. Businesses are built not by one brilliant idea, but by the daily grind of execution. Athletes become champions not by one perfect game, but by hours and hours of practice day after day. Strong relationships are not built on grand gestures once in a while, but on consistent love, kindness, and respect shown every single day. Consistency is the soil in which your dreams take root. And just like a seed planted in the ground, you won't always see immediate results. You may water it, you may tend to it, and for weeks or months, nothing appears above the surface. But beneath the ground, the roots are growing deep. Strength is being built in the unseen. And one day, when the time is right, that seed will sprout. Your life works the same way. The results may not be visible right away, but if you keep showing up, if you keep watering the soil, growth is happening. Transformation is on the way. The challenge is that many of us give up too soon. We plant the seed, but when we don't see results fast enough, we stop watering it. We quit before the roots have time to grow. But consistency requires patience. It requires faith that what you're doing matters, even if you can't see the outcome yet. It requires the courage to keep going, to trust the process, to know that each small step is carrying you closer to the life you desire. Consistency is not glamorous. It doesn't always feel exciting. Sometimes it feels ordinary, repetitive, even boring. But it is in those ordinary moments that extraordinary results are born. Think of brushing your teeth. It doesn't feel transformative in the moment, but if you stop brushing your teeth for weeks, the consequences would be dramatic. The same is true with every area of your life. The small things you do consistently, whether positive or negative, shape your future. Your habits, your routines, your daily choices, they are writing the story of your life. Now, let's talk about identity, because consistency does more than create results. It creates who you are. When you show up consistently, you begin to see yourself differently. You stop identifying as someone who quits, someone who starts and stops, someone who gives up when things get hard. You begin to see yourself as disciplined, as committed, as reliable, and that identity shift is life-changing, because once you see yourself as someone who is consistent, you start acting like it. You honor your word. You build trust with yourself. You walk with confidence. There will be times when life tests your consistency, when challenges come, when distractions tempt you, when discouragement whispers that it's not working. But those are the moments when consistency matters most. Anyone can keep going when it's easy. True consistency is proven when it's hard, and it's in those hard moments that you build strength, resilience, and character. So I want you to remember this. Success is not about intensity. It's about consistency. It's not about what you do once in a while. It's about what you do every single day. It's not the giant leaps that transform your life, but the small steps, repeated faithfully over time. And here's the miracle of consistency. It compounds. Just like compound interest multiplies small investments into great wealth, consistent actions multiply into extraordinary transformation. Every workout builds on the one before it. Every kind word strengthens the relationship. Every page written adds up to a book. Every prayer deepens your spirit. Nothing is wasted. Every act of consistency is an investment in your future. Your future self is being created right now by what you do consistently. And one day, you will look back and realize that the life you're living is the result of the small choices you made day after day when no one was watching. So what do you want your future self to thank you for? The discipline you built, the health you nurtured, the love you gave consistently, the dream you watered daily? Decide today. Choose one area. Commit to it. Show up for it. Because your life will be transformed not by what you do occasionally, but by what you do consistently. You are capable of extraordinary things, not because you will do them all at once, but because you will do them daily, because you will keep showing up, because you will be consistent, and that, more than anything else, is the key to transformation. So step into this truth. I am consistent. I am persistent. I honor my word. I trust the process. And I know that step by step, choice by choice, day by day, I am building the life I was created to live. That is the power of consistency.